What is up, gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode on the channel. As always, so glad to have you guys back on here. On today's episode, I wanted to share with you the benefits of waking up early. A simple concept in theory, but so difficult, as all of us have been there before, to apply day to day in our lives. But what are the benefits? Why am I preaching the idea of waking up early? What tangible benefits can we have? Well, most likely you've heard this before: wake up early. Why is this something that is consistently drawn into our minds? Well, this is what I aim to discover in this episode in a way that makes sense for us as modern people, as modern humans of the world, to understand and to internalize, so that by the end of this episode, honestly, I want you to walk away with a better understanding and maybe some actionable steps that you can take away to actually implement and to maybe wake up earlier, to have a better day. If not, well, stick around. You guys are still going to be in for a good episode. I want to start off with a well-known Stoic quote, a well-known Stoic saying that says, "Well begun is half done." And ultimately what this means to me and what this means to most likely you guys is the idea of starting off your day on the right foot sets up the rest of your day for success. When you do something correctly from the beginning, when you take the first step, and that first step is one with intent and purpose, the remaining steps are that much more founded on a solid foundation. This is where the basis, this is where the principle of waking up early comes in. This is where all of these different metaphors, all these different sayings of the early bird gets the worm, well begun is half done, come from. In order to have a productive day, you must have a productive morning. And this is what the idea of waking up early starts from. So where do we benefit from? Well, what does it mean to wake up early and to have a productive morning, and how early should you wake up? It honestly differs between person to person, but let's look at the core idea. What happens when we wake up early? Well, when we wake up early, we are out of distractions. We are out of the line of distractions. Think of your day. Think of what you do on a day-to-day basis. Most likely, most of your day is the result of you being dragged and taken to different places that you don't need to be or you don't want to be. Your attention is consistently being siphoned from you. Regardless of if you're an employee or you're a college student or you're the CEO of a company, you are always having your attention taken away from you to things that may not necessarily align with your core interests and what you actually need to be doing on a day-to-day basis. We all have limited willpower. We all have limited energy. As much as we like to believe that we have this unlimited and boundless amount of energy, right? Some of us, where we really take care of ourselves or really focus on ourselves, we believe that we can do everything. But in reality, we can't. We have a limited amount of hours and we have a limited amount of output. So by waking up early, we eliminate unnecessary distractions and we are able to focus on the things that truly bring in productivity to our lives, the high ROI things, the things that are difficult, the things that during the day may be very difficult to do because you're getting pushed and pulled from all areas. You may not have not only the time, the uninterrupted time, but the amount of hours, right? The amount of time that it takes to actually go ahead and do something that is really going to push the needle forward. So you default to doing what you normally do, which is these small, meaningless tasks that sure, on the surface may feel like you're actually getting something done. But truly, from a grand scheme of your life perspective, you're really not pushing the major parts of your life forward. So this is what allowing yourself to wake up early does, is it removes the different elements that may cause unnecessary distractions, that may pull you from your core purpose, and gives you the opportunity to get another at-bat into the things that really matter, to the tasks that really matter, the conversations you need to have. By waking up early, not only do we have a more productive morning, where we're able to get the core things that we want out of the way, whether it's a work task, whether it's a student or a educational task of getting ahead on our reading or catching up on a lecture that we haven't done, or even if it's a spiritual task of meditating, of being alone with ourselves and really ruminating on who we are and which part of ourselves we wish to bring out and which part of ourselves we wish to burn away, or even our physical self, where we have those hours that we can put in towards bettering our physical fitness. Well, all of that, all of those points on the board that we're putting towards the things that are really meaningful, that bring substance to our life, actually end up also allowing us to have a better sense of mental health. Where does poor mental health come from? Is poor mental health something that we are born with, or is something that over time we're able to consistently reinforce in ourselves as we do the things that we're not meant to do? It's a mixed bag, but I believe that truly, mostly, it is within our control. The things that are important to us are always within our control. We have the ability to pick and choose how we go about our day and how we structure our day in a way to give us the best possible outcome or not. So by doing the things, by waking up early and giving yourself the hours that are precious to you to do the things you wish to do in your life, you're also giving yourself the gift of better mental health, because at the end of the day, you look back at what you've done, you're like, damn, that was a good day. I really did everything that I needed to do. I gave it my all. I gave it everything that I can. I left nothing back. I left no stone unturned. And believe me when I say that, that gives you a sense of true fulfillment. When you look at yourself in the mirror, you know that this is a person that did not lie to themselves on this day. They set out to do what they promised themselves they were going to do, and they did it. And that is what a good start to the day does. When you wake up late as opposed to early, you're in catch-up mode. You're immediately in this mode of, I need to just take back the hours that were lost during that sleep. I need to catch up with the rest of the world. But when you wake up early, you get a jump on the world, and you get a jump on the things that you need to do to get a better life. Last but not least, from the benefits of waking up early are just in general, better sleep quality. There's a lot of scientific reasons, and this is not a scientific video, but if you want to research more on this, there's a lot of different resources you can read into towards why waking up early also allows you to get a better sleep quality. This has to do with something called your circadian rhythm, which is the natural way your body likes to go to sleep, passes through its different sleep cycles, and eventually wakes up in the morning. There's a reason that we as humans go to sleep at night and wake up in the morning at the crack of dawn, or essentially the crack of dawn. It's only with the invention of modern industrializations, modern technology, that our sleep cycle has gotten completely messed up. Because we're able to communicate with each other, we're able to stay on all the time. Because we have our phones accessible to us, we feel connected to the rest of the world, which in some of those parts of the world, people may very well be awake. This completely throws off our natural sleeping rhythm, but it's never and not always been this way. For hundreds and thousands and even tens of thousands of years, we've gone to sleep when the sun goes down, and we've woken up the crack of dawn. Our bodies are primed to maximize on those hours. When the sun comes up, even biologically, physiologically within ourselves, there are hormones that activate within our bodies to tell us to wake up, to spring into action. When the sun goes down, the same is true for us going to sleep. When you put yourself in an early morning routine, aka what is known as just a morning routine, right? What our ancestors have always known to be the morning and the time to wake up. Not to sleep until 9, not to sleep until 10, but just to wake up at 5 a.m., at 4:30 a.m. This primes your body to a more natural sense of how you're meant to sleep, and ultimately your sleep quality becomes better. When you wake up in the morning, you feel sharper, you feel more fresh, you feel more able to take on the world and the challenges of the world, and to communicate yourself articulately, effectively, and authentically. So what is Shadi's no BS guide on how to wake up early? So many people tout and promote this idea of waking up early and give you all these complicated ideas on how to do so. I personally believe if I was to give you one idea is quit being a little bitch. Wake up early. Just force yourself to do it. But some people need practical guides, they need a step-by-step process, and I get it. Some of us, we lack the willpower, and that's fine. You build up your willpower over time. But the number one goal is just say, have the willpower. Do it. Just when you commit to something, just do it. The benefits you get from actually investing into your willpower and actually getting the fruit of your willpower, saying, I'm going to do something, and actually doing it, cannot express the benefits. But for some of us, and I get it, I've been there before, we need a little bit of a guided process. So the first step is to actually set up a routine that allows you to wake up earlier. There's no point in telling yourself, someone who wakes up at 10 a.m. or even 11 a.m. Some people wake up at 12 p.m., which I find crazy. But the same person that wakes up at these times, well, it's a little bit insane to expect yourself to wake up earlier when you keep doing the same thing before bed the night before. You are awake till the same time. You have the same habits that you do before bed. You're on your phone, or you're watching something, or you're just out late, or you're drinking, or you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing to actually get you to bed. So it's insane to me that people expect this change in routine without actually changing the precursor things that lead up to the results that they don't want. So the first step is just gradually push back your sleeping time. So if you're someone who sleeps at 12 and you wake up at 9, or you sleep at 1 and you wake up at 9, well, instead of sleeping at 1, maybe sleep at 12:30. Really, it's not that difficult. Sure, if you sleep at 1, it's pretty much impossible for you to sleep at 10. At 10, you're still going to be wired in because of actual old habits to not want to sleep. So go from 1 to 12:30, from 12:30 to 12. Those subtle and small changes will not completely throw off what your body is used to, but you'll subtly start to move back and back. Why, at the same time, is this not something where you can rely on a drastic change, where all of a sudden you sleep at 1, but for some day, you're so tired that you sleep at 9 a.m. or 9 p.m.? Well, number one is you actually still haven't set up your routine in a way where that's being reinforced in how you do things. You're someone who sleeps at 1, but on the off chance that you slept at 9, well, that's most likely not something that's going to be recurring. You need to get into the routine of sleeping earlier and earlier and earlier, and actually reverse engineering what time you want to wake up. 2, establish a consistent bedtime routine. I've spoken about this idea of reverse engineering the results you wish to have in life. So if you're someone who wishes to wake up at 5 a.m., well, create a routine, a foundation, an environment around your life that actually is going to facilitate that. There's 2 things. There's something you do after you wake up, set up a routine there. I'll tell you what that is in a second, and what you do before you sleep. So if you're someone who wishes to wake up at 5, well, reverse engineer. You need 8 hours of sleep. 5 minus 8. You're looking to get to bed around 9. This is plenty amount of time because you have 8 hours of sleep, and sure, you may not get that full 8 hours, but you may get 7, 7.5, but you're in bed for 8. From there, look at what you do beforehand. Are you someone who works up until, and I know this from personal experience, who works up until they go to sleep? I know that when I work right up until I go to sleep, I can never get to sleep. My mind is always going crazy, all of these thoughts. I'm still in overdrive. I need that 1 hour before I go to sleep in order to just wind down a little bit. I do this by reading, I do this by meditating, I do this by just simply being peaceful and relaxed and really trying to take my mind out of work. It's not because I'm lazy and I don't want to work. If anything, I would love to continue to work, to continue to think about the things that I wish, because I'm so passionate about the things that I do. But I just find that I can't get to sleep when all I've been doing right before bed is working. The same is true for watching Netflix, surfing Instagram, being on TikTok. All this stuff stimulates your mind. You need a way to just wind down and to get the thoughts out of your head. Meditation is a great way to do that. So you reverse engineer the time that you need to sleep. You're setting yourself up not to look at blue light before you go to bed. So eliminate your phone. I know that's easier said than done. At least put your phone into night shift mode. And if you can, try to remove your phone. I'll be honest with you, I'm not someone who can remove their phone or hasn't removed their phone consistently before bed, but at least I try my best not to be on TikTok or on Instagram. I'm usually just reading something or listening to something before I go to sleep. From there, what do you do after you wake up? Well, if you have a demand in the day, something that you're actually waking up for, it's so much easier to wake up. Because even if you get 8 hours, if you don't have something that is worth waking up for, well, you won't have that pep in your step, that spring that you need to actually wake up. What I like to do is on the days that I really need to wake up early, I will schedule something with someone external, whether it's my boxing coach, whether it's a business thing that I have to get to, something that I need to be at some point in order to do. And I know that even if I don't wake up, even if I'm still tired, well, I have this person relying on me that I need to go ahead. And if I don't show up, well, I've let this other person down. It's not only an internal thing, it's an external thing. So this is another way to actually give yourself another reason to wake up, a physical reason to wake up. Another tip that I like to do is put your phone away from your bed. Most people keep their phone right next to their bed. And what do we do as soon as we wake up? We reach for our phones. You may not know that this is happening. It's sometimes even subconscious. And all of a sudden you take your phone and you start to train away your time. You allow external influences to take away from precious hours of your time, and you just find yourself in that mode where you feel cozy and you feel like you're in bed, and you just find yourself wasting precious hours. So put your phone away, and what I like to do is as soon as I wake up, I will open the blinds. Sure, during summertime, well, you don't have sunlight at 5 a.m., but during winter, it was a nice opportunity to get some sun into my eyes, or at least a little bit of light into my eyes, and to kick-start that wake-up sequence. Guys, that is it. That is a wrap on this episode of benefits of waking up early, and honestly, a practical guide to waking up early. If you ever feel lazy and you feel like you don't want to wake up early for any reason, just remember this. Remember the famous Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, who was a well-known Stoic figure. Even this man who could have anything, who could have all the power in the world, who could honestly have every single reason to indulge in every pleasure in the world, and to just to stay in bed and to stay away from all the things that make him uncomfortable. Even this person wrote in his own diary, in his own series of meditations, that the chief task of any person is to wake up in the morning, not to stay huddled under the covers where they're warm and they're cozy, but to wake up and to do do what they were meant to do, the gift that they have to give to the world. Even if this person with so much power, with so much leverage over so many people, where no one is going to come to Marcus Aurelius and tell him, Marcus, why aren't you awake? What are they going to do about it, right? He's the emperor. If even in this person had the humility to wake himself up and to know that his position, his part to play in life was not under the covers, but out in the world, giving his gift, well, why can't we? So let's learn from him, and let's learn from the others that have come before him and after him, and take a page out of their books. So guys, from the very bottom of my heart, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode. Until next time, stay awesome.